Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. We're sipping by the lake.
Welcome to the Ochco Mountains in beautiful Oregon. We are at a splendid lake, and this seems like a great place to enjoy a sample from our friend, Jim Lemke.
Jim!
Thank you so much to Jim for this wonderful sample, and if it's your first time joining us here on 5 Sip Friday, we are going to nose the glass, take 5 sips, say whether or not we like it, try and guess what in the heck we're drinking, and ultimately it will be revealed. And this one's already jumping out of the glass. I don't know if you're smelling it as much as I am, but I am ready to get after this one.
I'm ready. It's kind of chilly out today.
Let's get on to the nose. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
It smells oaky.
I have no idea.
It smells like bourbon to me.
It does, but there's a mustiness that I recognize.
There is a mustiness.
But I don't recognize because I can't tell you where it comes from. It's familiar.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say.
Let's start the weekend.
Cheers. Oh.
I was thinking that this was going to be like a 90 proofer, but I'm not 100% sure that that's where we're going to go on this one.
This is a really interesting sip. I haven't said anything for a while after I sipped it because it just kind of keeps on going and delivering. There's a really extended finish. My mouth is watering. It's a little dry, but it's also musty at the same time. This is a very, very interesting whiskey.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I really liked the initial sip of that, but then I got a really nice mint on the finish. The finish is, it just kind of, like you said, it just keeps delivering, and that's where it's piqued my interest.
Are you ready for a real weird tasting note?
Yes.
Wet brown sugar.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it is. I don't
Brown
know what
sugar
it is.
gets wet when you just eat it.
I'm getting a strange tasting note that I can't really explain, and I think we need to try sip 2.
Yeah. There's a bit of a floral note on the nose and now on the palate as well that makes me think this may be some sort of MGP.
I'm with that. My first sip, I thought MGP right away, but the nose, which I'm not great at nosing, but I'm trusting my nose here.
Yeah.
Something about this doesn't smell right. But again, the mustiness, that does not seem like MGP to me. That seems, if I had to go with anything, I would say it reminds me of a Balcones single malt.
Whoa, that is not at all where I was going with this. What an interesting thought, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of threw me for a spiral. Last year we got a lot of barrel products.
Yeah.
And I was always like MGP, and so I'm like kind of associating those flavors together, but I don't think this is barrel. I mean, who knows? But and I'm trying to get out of that mindset because I have picked barrel this year just based on this like more floral note, and I don't think that's where it is. But now, wow, a single malt?
Well, I don't know that it is a single malt, but there's the mustiness totally reminds me of that brand, or at least that region. There's something Texas-ish about this right now, 2 sips in. Let's go on to sip 3. I'm growing in curiosity.
There is a little bit of a stink to the nose in a good way.
Got a stink to the nose.
But I mean, I think there's like some funkiness here. I'm sure that I haven't had this.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if it tastes familiar, but this one confuses me.
What are we on, sip 4?
Yeah,
Well,
we're not going to get this one.
How are you feeling about the proof? Let's concentrate on proof. Maybe we can get that.
Well, I don't know. My first initial sip, I thought maybe this was going to be higher proof, but now I'm going to the 90s. I'm thinking like 90s.
On the nose, I thought maybe that it was just like a subdued heat, and now I'm kind of like, this is a little lower proof than I was expecting.
I probably shouldn't have given away what I was going to say there, but...
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, but that could change. One more sip?
We have 2 more. This is
more
sip 4.
sips.
Let's do
Good,
it.
because I don't know what this is. Oh, there's a nice vanilla. There's a nice vanilla note there.
Yeah, there's mint, there's spice, vanilla, brown sugar. We haven't given a lot of tasting notes.
No, I'm thinking this is non-Kentucky in my head.
Balcones single malt, by the way, brings a lot more fruit than I'm getting on this. I'm not getting fruit here.
I'm not getting any fruit.
No.
Wouldn't it be interesting if the flavor notes in this was just like all fruit?
If anything, it's more like a molasses. It's spicy. It's less fruit, more vegetal, honestly.
I'm confused on even what this is. Like, It could be a high rye bourbon. It could be a rye. You could be right on with the... It could be anything. It's a bit of a chameleon drink.
This is an oddball.
It's not like we're out of practice.
No, we practice frequently.
Frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sip 5?
Yeah, and
Let's get on with it. I gotta know. I'm
and
so curious.
I want to apologize about no flavor notes, but good job, Jim.
Yeah.
I got more of that like floral kick on that one. That was like all floral. Gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I have a hint of good.
some various ideas here. I want to think on it for just a second, and then we'll do a cool transition. It'll flip, and then you'll hear what we think about it. All right, that was your cool transition. So now we're going to tell you what we think. You go ahead.
All right, so this was a little bit confusing.
A bit confusing.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's a bourbon or a rye, so I'm going to go that this is a high rye bourbon.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm going to go this is like 94 proof.
Wow, okay.
I was thinking 96. Because it does drink a little bit. Oh, can I change? I think I'm going to go 96 proof. It
yeah,
feels
you're not
like
locked in yet. You can change it.
Yeah, so high rye bourbon, 96 proof. I think it's like MGP, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to throw. I don't think it's Kentucky, so I'm just going to go like a Breckenridge.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that brand. But
Yeah, me neither. I just was like, it's not. I don't know if it's going to be Michigan or Ohio.
There's
and
something
Colorado's nearby.
There's something odd enough about it
Yeah,
that I don't think that that's a bad guess. I'm with you in a lot of ways. I think that high rye bourbon is a great guess. I think MGP is a great guess.
Yeah.
And I think 100 proof is where I'm going on this one. It's tricky because it's been all over the place. I don't think it's a single malt, but the one whiskey that it reminded me of was a whiskey from Texas, and there's a funk on it. There's a moist quality to it.
Texas does have its own profile.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to find out this is something from Texas. I like the MGP guess too. I like the high rye bourbon guess. I don't know. I don't think they grow rye anywhere near Texas, but I guess I'll go with that. I'm going to say it's 100 proof.
Yeah.
And I think that there's some Texas in there. That's my guess.
You're always good with the 100 proof. I always skip over the 100 proof and just go over and under, but I feel like that's a really solid guess. And to be honest,
I like your guess too. I kind of changed mine based on what you were doing just to hedge
really?
our bets. Yeah.
I don't even think Breckenridge is MGP, so I kind of contradicted myself on this one, but I'm playing all the angles.
I mean, I said MGP and something from Texas. I wouldn't be surprised at all to find out because there's so many flavors here and it's so hard to pin down. This could very easily be a blend. It could be something like a Red Empire craziness that we haven't had yet, or it could be anything like that. Let's find out. I'm ready.
Wouldn't it be funny if it is from Kentucky? Because I'm feeling like at least that's the thing we got.
If this is from Kentucky, I've never had anything this musty from Kentucky. And by the way, hang on, before we say it, did you like it?
I don't think I actually took the time to think about if I liked it because it was such a conundrum.
You're so diligently trying to squirrel out what this one is.
I know, but I think that
ferret out what this one is. What's the phrase? I forget.
Ferret out, maybe.
Yeah, probably
You're
better
asking
than squirrel.
me, which is the
if
wrong
you're squirreling
person.
out what something is, you're probably frantically looking at it and then trying to get away from it.
I do think that I liked this. It was interesting enough that it's more of a conversation piece to me. Because this one was a bit confusing to me.
Yeah, it's super confusing, and I think super tasty. I really, really liked this. I can't wait to find out what it is and if it's anything that we can get, because I think it's great.
Yeah, and there is a very long note here.
Oh, get your reading pants on.
So give me 1 second.
What in the world is that?
Oh, Jim,
I have
how
never
are we ever going to get this?
I've never seen whatever that bottle is.
Okay, so here's what the bottle looks like. And now we're going to read about it. Stay tuned.
It's two-sided printing. Good grief,
two-sided.
Jim. How much are we supposed to read?
All right. So there was like a 0% chance we're going to get this.
We're going to be here for a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and keep drinking.
It is Saints Alley Herald Batch 2, blend of straight bourbon. It is 90% 6.5-year MGP high rye, 10% 4-year iron root heirloom corn, finished in Armagnac casks, undisclosed amount of time.
I would not have guessed finished, but do you know where iron root is from?
Can we say that it's Texas?
We can say that. Absolutely.
Wait, so then we did pretty
Bourbon,
good there.
high rye
High-rye.
MGP, Texas. Holy cow, we're on a roll.
I know, I should have known that iron root was Texas. We have an iron root bottle. It is 107 proof and does not drink
Wow,
107.
drinks way easier than that.
This bottle was sold exclusively at Total Wine, about $70 to $80.
Wow.
All right, so let's read about it because this one was interesting and we didn't get any of the flavor notes right. Orange oil, treacle, tobacco, honey-drenched dates on the nose, joined by roasted cashews, anise, blackberry compote, Darjeeling tea, and fig pudding.
Didn't get a single one of those.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not at all. So Saint's Alley is apparently developed by the experienced duo of Iron Root Republic's Jonathan LaCarish and YouTube's The Liquor Hound host, Chris Trevino. Well, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know any of whatever that is.
What an interesting sample
What a
this was.
fantastic sample, yeah.
I'll be honest, it was one of those that tripped me up a bit, was a bit of a thinker. I'm unsure if I liked it or not, but
It's a big
generally
thinker.
liked it. And Texas kind of does that to you. Like,
Yeah.
they have bold flavors.
I'm so glad we said high rye bourbon instead of rye. I almost always go rye, but as soon as you said high rye bourbon, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a great call.
I know. We weren't there. I mean, you were close with 100. It's 107 proof, but I feel pretty chuffed
You
saying
ferreted
that
out
it
the
was a
MGP?
high rye Texas drink.
You got MGP, Texas, bourbon, reasonably close on proof. I'm happy with all of this.
It's chilly, so I think that's why we were off a few points.
But it's also why I'm enjoying this so much. Well, there you go. Have you had Saints Alley, the Herald Batch 1, 2, or any of the other batches? Let us know what you think of it. Thank you, as always, Jim Lemke, for this fantastic sample, and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Jim, you stinker. That was a good one.